So we're live. We're live. Welcome to the Palace of Snow. It is Snowmageddon, or Snowpocalypse, as some may call it. It is still not the blizzard of '93. As customary for anyone that lives in the Deep South, you have to mention the blizzard of '93 anytime you talk about snow, and I'm going to follow the rules. So I want to welcome each and every one of you as you come in to the chat room. Of course, there's nobody here yet. Oh, there's three instantly that came in at the same time. Welcome. We are talking about Snowmageddon, Snowpocalypse. We are talking about snowmen that have to social distance. Make sure that you put masks on your snow people. Hey, man, I'm in Harrisonburg, Virginia, in case you didn't know, and there's like the sky's falling. It's falling in the form of white powder that is everywhere. The locals here call it snow. It's actually beautiful. Carol and I took a drive around earlier, and it was too soon really. So we didn't stay as long as we normally stay running around. We didn't go too far deep into the mountains. Dennis Jackson says, hey guys, what's up? Hey, Dennis Jackson, you guys get any snow down south? He says it is still 41 here. Well, here in the great state of Virginia, we have, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 inches on the ground. It's still snowing. And actually, we would have a lot more, but a lot of our precipitation came in the form of freezing rain and ice, and it made the roads dangerous. It's currently 27 degrees, which isn't exactly frigid. The first year we lived in Virginia, the first year we were here, I think it was in late November, early December. We had a pretty good snowfall, and I was impressed, to say the least, with the cold air that followed. It was frigid cold. We got our first lesson about a Virginia winter right there, that it can get pretty cold. Now, in 2019, we didn't have much of a winter. And 2020 alpha, the first part of the 2020 winter, didn't give us a lot. But here in December, the very first month of the winter. Actually, when's the first day of winter? I don't remember. Can you look that up? The first day of winter, we have a snowpocalypse upon us. December 21st, which is also the winter solstice, which is also the day of the Great Conjunction, the Christmas star, which we will be covering live here on this channel. I don't know how we're going to cover it live. We're waiting for it to come to us from osmosis. Dennis Jackson says, my son lives in Fredericksburg. They just have ice. Here's what was supposed to happen. Here's what they were saying, the prognosticators, the geniuses, the scientific minds, the meteorologists, if you will. They said that all of the significant white powder, not from Miami, but from above, was going to hit east of 81, which would mean the Blue Ridge Parkway area, and even over into Richmond and up in Fredericksburg. That didn't happen. Apparently that didn't happen. That warmer Gulf air didn't transfer over into the frigid coldness that was predicted. So the meteorologists, they were tricked again by Mother Nature. And I bet that has to be frustrating. If you're a weather person in Fredericksburg, if you're a weather person anywhere, I think that has to be it has to be a job that there's just no one, that you're never going to make anybody happy. Because if you predict the weather right, nobody cares. It's like, yeah, okay, they said it was going to rain. It rains. And in the summertime, you kind of got it easy. An afternoon shower is going to be 85 degrees with an afternoon shower, 40% chance. And if you said that every day, now come on, you're going to be close. And so you're going to have a high average. It gets tricky in the spring, fall, and winter. And the fall's not even that tricky. It gets tricky in the wintertime. All right, guys, you're going to have to chat it up. Let us know if it's snowing in your neck of the woods. Let us know what's happening, what's going on. I figured in my prognosticating that down in Barberville, Kentucky, southeast Kentucky, that there would be some light flurries maybe by the morning, but probably not. I don't know if it's deer hunting season in that neck of the woods or not. Be a great time to catch the final rut there, the last part of the rut, and that'd be wonderful. Down in East Tennessee, they didn't get anything there. Talked to my youngest daughter today, and it was rather warm. So this thing appears to be Atlantic seaboard, northern states, the northern part of states, but it has been a magnificent show. It was interesting today, a little bit dangerous. I don't know if you guys got to watch the live stream earlier today. We had a pretty fun live stream out at my deck on the patio in the front, and we watched the snow come down together. If you haven't caught that live stream, go back and watch it. It's a lot of fun. Had a great conversation with some old friends. We had a really good time. So thankful that you're stopping by tonight. Do you know how hard it is to make snow? You really can't do it. You can't really make. Did you know that, Carolyn? You can't make snow. You can't. You make something like snow. I know you were sitting there thinking, I'm so glad I know that now. You can't make snow because it takes a weather phenomenon to make snow. The temperature has to be right. Moisture is falling to the earth, and it does something to the water molecules, and poof, you have snow. So you can't really make snow. Nobody has ever made snow. You can make ice and you can make other stuff, but you can't make snow. Man, we're struggling tonight to keep viewers in here, and I'm like, where is everybody? We need some peeps in here right now to come by and say hello. It must be the hat. Is it the hat, Carolyn? Do you think it's the hat? I don't know. I need some rank on this hat. I need some rank right here. It'd be cool to have a little insignia or whatever. Is it snowing in your neck of the woods? In our neck of the woods, we had plenty of snow. Now listen, I've got a video coming out tomorrow at some point. I've got a video coming out tomorrow that we're going to take you guys around the area, and we might go up to Massanutten. We might not. You'll have to watch the video and see. Massanutten is a very large mountain here in the Shenandoah Valley. So you've got the Alleghenies on the left. You got the Blue Ridge Mountains on the right, and the Great Valley that extends all the way deep into Tennessee. It's called the Great Valley. And all of a sudden, you have this ridge line right in the middle of the valley that pops up. It's very, very interesting. And I have a video that I've made, or I'm making, that you guys will get tomorrow as a part of the Vlogmas package. Listen, if you haven't watched all of our videos, you need to, our Vlogmas videos, especially because they've been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of interaction. So you want to go back and watch those Vlogmas videos. There's one edited video, in other words, where I'm actually talking about something, but the rest of them so far have been Vlogmas. Travis Plank says, hi, Bill. The last I checked, we have 9 inches and still snowing. Travis, where are you from? Let us know. And because here in Harrisonburg, I don't know the official. I think, do you have any idea what we have so far? Can you look that up? Is there a way to look that up?
I don't know.
I want to say it's 4. The grass is now covered, which is hard to do. Now, think about it. If it's your first snow, there's nothing on the ground. The ground's still very warm. I mean, the first few hours of the snow, the grass wasn't getting real good and covered. The roads looked terrible, but the grass was still warm. Well, you're from, Travis says he's from Shade Gap in Pennsylvania. So now I'm hearing that later on this evening, or, throughout the evening, and this 12 to 18 inches in some areas of Pennsylvania. And again, this year, Carol and I are going to do a lot of exploring up in Pennsylvania, provided the 2020 situation doesn't carry too far over into 2021. Billy says, I may have 3 or 4 inches out at your house. And I would say if you have 3 or 4, we have 4 or 5. Is that a good estimate, do you think, as far as elevation? And I don't know. I have no idea. So tell me what you think about that. Regardless, your average there would probably be about 3.5 inches across the way. I was talking to Billy on the phone today, and one of the things that we were exploring around Massanutten, which I'm thankful that we had a pretty good event. I mean, we had a great time. But honestly, we have a big 4-wheel drive. We have Silverado, and everything's in good shape, good tires, all that kind of stuff. And honestly, I wasn't worried about our situation as far as getting stuck or having issues. What you start getting worried about, you start worrying about other people and how they handle the snow. I'm used to driving in the snow. I'm not an expert, but probably not as good as some, better than others. But there are people who are not used to. We have a lot of students in Harrisonburg around JMU, and you have a lot of students who've never driven in the snow ever. So one such student was by JMU. There's a very large hill there, and the city hadn't gotten around, the state hadn't gotten around to clearing that area yet. It was they actually, let me correct myself. They had cleared it once, twice, 3 times, but you had to keep going on. And she found herself sliding. She was going up the hill, and she was spinning in place. And she was just spinning, and then she panicked, I'm assuming, because we started getting behind her, and other vehicles were kind of trying to manage around her, and that caused those vehicles to spin a little bit. We weren't spinning at all, and it has a lot to do with having a 4x4, a 2014, and it's just a good truck. It's a great truck. So there was no spin there. A couple of other trucks, I won't say that they're a Ford, but it could be that they're a Ford. I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just saying I saw Ford trucks spinning. I like all trucks. So I would never say that my Chevy Silverado outperformed the Ford F-150 going up a hill by JMU. I wouldn't say that. I'm just saying what the evidence would say. Anyway, the evidence says that my Chevy Silverado was outperforming all of the trucks on the road. I was like, this truck is built for snow. And that's what Carolyn and I said a couple years ago when we drove up Spruce Knob with about 2 foot of snow on the road and the gate was open and we were like, let's do this. And it was a lot of fun. Billy says, yeah, a lot of people here freak out in the snow. Just drive slow. And that shocks me. It shocks me that here in Harrisonburg, I mean, I looked up the records before I ever moved here. There's a lot, people get a lot of snow here. People get a lot of snow. They shop just like Southerners do when it snows. You know, eggs, milk, bread, you got to have it. Of course, what do you think Carolyn and I were doing this morning at 6 o'clock? We were shopping for eggs, bread, and so on. We also bought some of them cookies. Let me tell you about these cookies. You know the ones I'm talking about from back in the day? The Toll House cookies where you cut it off. And it's not for all the time because I'm not allowed to have a lot of sugar, but I'm going to make some Toll House cookies later. It's going to be fantastic. Billy says, Ford not known for snow duty, but Chevy is. Like a rock. Who is that? Is that Chevy truck or Ford? Like a rock. Either way, it's a great commercial. We have 8 in the chat room right now. I want to thank all 8. Number 8 is the number of new beginnings. And 2021 is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome for this channel. And here's what I'm going to do. Some people today mentioned something very, very interesting, and that is a giveaway. That is a giveaway for when we reach 10,000 subscribers. So here it is. If we can reach 10,000 subscribers before January 1st, if we can reach 10,000 subscribers before January 1st, we will give away an autographed map, United States interstate map. Get it? Travel channel kind of thing, interstate map. And it's, one of those maps that's got each state in there. And all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you leave a comment on a video because it's on a Vlogmas video. You have to leave a comment on a Vlogmas video. And it has to be a legitimate comment contributing to somehow the overall, whatever you want to call it, commentary that we're talking about on the video. And if you do that, Carol and I both will sign it. You'll have a personalized letter from us because one day we'll have millions of subscribers and it just won't be possible to get that close and personal. Okay, look, here's the truth. We thought it would be cool to give somebody a map, and those are handy because I know everybody's got the cell phone these days, but we keep maps now underneath the seats of our truck because we've learned that there are a lot of places that either the GPS is having a breakdown because it's not got the medication right, or the city's doing something to mess the GPS up, like down in Orlando. Disney is like hijacked the GPS. Come on now. It's crazy down in Orlando when it comes to your phone and trying to navigate through there. The people at the park will tell you, just turn that off. Anyway, it's handy to have a map. And so if we reach 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to go through every single video, write down every single person who's contributed a significant comment based on the commentary of the video. In other words, you're talking about the video or talking to each other, whatever. In other words, you're engaged. And we're going to put it in a hat and we're going to draw for somebody out of the people who have helped us get to 10,000 subscribers by January 1st. We're going to give them a map. I know it's not the best gift in the world. Listen, guys, I understand that. This channel isn't huge yet. It's not huge yet. But with your help, we can get there. We can get there. Here's the following ways. You got to share our content on Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, whatever platform you use, if it's Twitter, share it on Twitter. If not, and you don't have Facebook, you don't have Twitter, you walk out the back door and you just tell people to come on the channel at YouTube. There you go. If you have a YouTube channel, you can help us out that way as well. While you're here, make sure that you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. Got some more comments here. Billy says, yeah, a lot of people here for, I got that one already. Sorry, I already read those. Billy said, I'll be making sugar cookies next week, and you'll be giving some to us, and I'm ready for some more chicken. You're one of the greatest cooks that I think I've ever met when it comes to smoking chicken. I have never had smoked chicken, and you agree. We both left there, and my dad said the same thing, that his smoked chicken, we could make a fortune off of his smoked chicken. It's good stuff. Mama says the hat is cute. You tell Cindy Lou. I said, thank you very much. I made this hat myself. I'm kidding. I didn't make the hat myself. I just thought it would be nice to kind of change it up a little bit tonight. So I do like the background that is dark. This next year, we are going to try to implement some green screen into our work where I can do more live streaming and whatnot. You have a background and it will be lighted better and all that kind of stuff. And I never know where to look. I guess I'm supposed to look straight into the camera, but that seems so awkward because I don't see any movement when I look straight into the camera. So that's always been awkward for me when it comes to live stream. So I'm going to get a drink here real quick. Sorry. I'm drinking on the job, but not the bad stuff. Well, it's kind of the bad stuff because I'm not really supposed to drink Coca-Cola, and I am because I bought it for a ham that we're going to get tomorrow, I think, for Christmas because I cook my hams in Coca-Cola. If you've never done that, don't judge. It'll make your hams amazing. Coca-Cola is good at a lot of stuff, like cleaning toilets. No kidding. In case you didn't know, you can use Coca-Cola to clean your toilet. But after you're done cleaning your toilet with Coca-Cola, there's about a half a can left probably because you only need a half a can. You can make Coca-Cola snow cream, and that is a lot of fun too with your kids. Just make sure that you examine the snow before you try to make snow cream. All right, guys, tell me what you are doing right now. What's going on in your world? What's going on in your snowpocalypse? Are you having a snowpocalypse? I was talking to Brent today. She's one of our subscribers. Down in South Carolina, there's no snow. But I have been in South Carolina when I was 5 years old, when we had 2 or 3 inches of snow hit the ground in a winter. I was 5 or 6, I can't remember. And sure enough, we had 5 or 6 inches of snow down in South Carolina. Jessica Harris says, I'm packing to go home. That makes me cry, Jessica. And I can't wait till you get back. When are you getting back? When are you coming home? Annabelle Porter says, trying to finish finals. Well, you guys don't need to be watching this as much as I appreciate. You need to be studying. Go study, which is difficult. I understand. Yesterday, I had to take about a 5-hour focus break. You have to turn your phone on. I went over to the church for church time, turned everything off, and messaged Carol and I said, "You got the helm. I've got to focus." And sometimes you have to do that. So the college kids will be back around January, middle of January, and I don't know if this weather is a sign of things to come. That should be interesting. Oh, Bree and Tim and Annabelle, go study. Everybody in the chat room should be telling our college kids to go study. However, before you do that, make sure that you hit the like button, that you're subscribed to the channel, and that you have shared this with everyone you know. If you have not ever shared one of our videos, you need to do so, or you are un-American. I question your loyalty and patriotism if you do not share this channel everywhere. Share it with all your might, or maybe you're a communist. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible. Have you ever thought about maybe I'm a communist because you're not sharing our content? I'm just saying. Adventures of Moon Man. What's up, my man? Welcome back. Welcome back. Adventures of Moon Man. I was just telling the people, the good people here in the chat room, that if you don't share our content, if you're not subscribed, if you've not clicked the bell for notifications, if you've not hit the thumbs up, you're a communist. It's not my fault. I didn't make these rules. It's written down somewhere, though. You need to examine yourself. Am I American? America. Yeah. By the way, if you don't understand satire, look it up. Look it up. It would be a lot easier. I've said this before, but I've got to say it again. I wanted to make satirical conspiracy videos when I first started the channel, until I realized how many people were buying into the nutty kind of stuff. Jessica Harris says, O'Brien just became an American. Cut him some slack. All right, O'Brien, you have time because you did just become an American citizen, and we are so very proud of you. But I'm just saying, you've got a little bit of mercy and grace here for a few months, and then you have to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The Christmas tree, I've decided it is leaning, by the way. It is leaning just a few degrees, but the camera exaggerates it because, the camera puts on a few pounds. This double chin that I have, it's not real. It's the camera. But the tree, it is leaning just a little bit. Jessica Harris says, O'Brien. Well, let's see. Sorry. Billy says, woohoo, O'Brien. And then Freckleface, too. Good to see you, Freckleface. My grandmother was from Atlanta, and I always called it Coca-Cola. Yes, older people called it Coca-Cola. My granny would call it. She'd put a little C in there. But it was real harsh. Real silent. Coca-Cola, I think it was first bottled in Chattanooga, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't made in Chattanooga, but it was. I think it was first bottled there. It's amazing how southern of a drink Coca-Cola is. So much so that if you're from the deep South, all soft drinks, and I'm calling soft drink pop, anything with fizz in it, is a Coke. So I had one batch of my family that called everything with fizz in it, with carbonated beverages. They called all of it. It was a Coke. If it was a Pepsi in the fridge, hey, can you give me a Coke? And it meant Pepsi. It meant Dr. Pepper. It can mean anything. Whatever is in the fridge that's carbonated. It'd be seltzer water, but it's a Coke. Another set of my family, they were second generation Michiganders. So they lived in Michigan. Originally Kentucky. Their parents were from Kentucky, but they moved up and they became Michiganders. And so instead of using the word Coke, they used the word pop. This really messed me up in my development. It is a part of the reason why I struggled in certain classes. I'm convinced that it gave me a disability, a learning disability. I'm convinced it gave me a learning disability because the southern part of my family called it Coke. The northern part of my family called it pop. What do you do? And so when you're trying to learn to spell words, this is going on in the back of your head. When you're trying to learn algebra, this is happening back here. Is it Coke or is it pop? Is it Coke or is it pop? And you feel overwhelmed, and they don't have a medication for that. They don't have a medication for that. So you'd be around one side of the family, and you would say, hey, can you get me a pop? And they'd be like, what are you calling pop? What's a pop? I can pop you in the head. And then you're going, that hurt my feelings. And then you go around your other family, and you say, hey, can you get me a Coke? And they'll go, you want me to get you a Coke out of the fridge? We don't have Coke. We got Pepsi. They get me a Pepsi. What does it matter? Never mind the stress and fatigue that I felt as a child. Jim McDonald says, got to get to bed, Bill. Retirement comes early. I must be boring you to death, Jim, but I love you, and I'm always grateful when you stop by. Always grateful. O'Brien Tim said, I never knew the difference between Coke and Pepsi until I came to JMU. I get it, O'Brien. I get it, my man. I get it. Jessica Harris says, they're the same thing, just different brands. No. And here's what's weird is that soft drinks, they're bottled in different locations all over the U.S. And wherever they're bottled changes the taste. The water that they use changes the taste. I can tell a Diet Coke from here in this area different, or Diet Pepsi for sure, is different than down in Chattanooga. Adventures of Moon Man. Well, first, Jess Kerr said Pepsi is sweeter. I agree. Pepsi is sweeter. And it seems like Coca-Cola is more explosive when you're drinking it. I don't know. I like a Coke. I love Coca-Cola. Adventures of Moon Man says Pepsi is Carolinian, Mountain Dew from Tennessee, Dr. Pepper from Texas. We got an expert here. This is great. We got an expert. Pepsi is Carolinian. Okay. Mountain Dew is from Tennessee. Yes. Dr. Pepper is from Texas. I didn't know that. So the doc is from Texas. So one of your favorite drinks, Dr. Pepper, is a Texan. So you set up practice in Texas, and yeah, I got you. Cheerwine from North Carolina. I've had Cheerwine. And L8 from Kentucky. I didn't know that. Maybe I should have, but I don't know that. Coke is from good old Georgia, yes. And everybody in the Deep South loves a Coke every now and then. Dennis Jackson says, call it what you want as long as you get me a Diet Dew. Hey, you know what? I love Mountain Dew. The problem is Mountain Dew affects my body in ways that I cannot discuss on this live stream. Carolyn knows that there is an effect that happens with no other soft drink. I don't know why, just Mountain Dew. It's wrong. Billy says, I'm a pepper. Was that a commercial? I'm a pepper. You're a pepper. Yeah. Wouldn't you like to? Yeah. I remember that. Jim McDonald said, Pepsi is what the new Coke tasted like. Really? I don't remember. I was a kid. I don't remember being too analytical other than making fun of the campaign. New Coke. Everybody was excited. It made no sense. To this day, they call it one of the biggest marketing blunders in history. Jessica says, embarrassing. Every time they say embarrassing, it's like I'm supposed to be embarrassed. And I want to go, no, you're not getting it. I'm embarrassed that you're not on my level. Like, I'm here, you're here, and I'm going, where are you at, Jessica? Where are you at? Embarrassing. It is embarrassing that you're here. And you should be here. One of those. You better leave her alone. Just kidding. I love her to death. Adventures of Moon Man says Dr. Pepper was invented in Waco, Texas. Wow, man. I bet it. Never mind. You gotta catch yourself every now and then before you say something to be funny, but in the grand scope of things, it's not. Adventures in Moon Man. RC is made by the Moon Pie Company. Adventures Moon Man, you are blowing this up. This is great. RC is made by the Moon Pie Company. Yes, and Moon Pie was invented in Chattanooga. Absolutely. I could use a moon pie right now. I didn't like moon pies when I was a kid. Something happened like in adolescence. It's like puberty hit and you go, I need a moon pie. I want one right now. It's great. You can microwave them. You can bake them. You can roast them over a fire. You can make snow cream with them. They're great. Have you ever done that? Have you ever made snow cream with a moon pie? It's amazing. It's out of this world. Jessica Harris says, bro, I meant to comment about Mountain Dew messing you up. Bro, here. Anyway, Jessica said, I'm on your level. Sure you are. You tell yourself whatever you need to get to sleep at night. You know I'm kidding. Dennis Jackson says L8 and now Cherry L8 is made in Winchester, Kentucky, and now Orange L8. I've never had Orange L8. Over in Winchester. Jim McDonald said, way to make you feel old, Bill. I'm telling you, every day that goes by, I get a reminder, you know. Our driveway is very steep and it's long. It's a very long driveway and it's concrete. So when the snow hit, there was like 4 inches of snow when we were walking down the driveway. And with each step, I kept saying, if I fall, it'll take me 3 weeks to recover from it. It's like a really sad moment. Like when I was younger, I'd have been like trying to slide down it with my feet, you know, just running and jumping. But now it's like every step, being careful. Adventures of Moon Man says, I love soda. I love everything about the South, and soda is such a Southern invention, in my opinion. I don't exactly know where soda was invented off the top of my head. I'm sure I've watched 800 documentaries that are supposed to tell you, and then you're like, I'm going to lock that into my memory. I never did. But I think soda is. But what's funny is over the past 30 years, it seems like sweet tea has become the drink of the South. When I was a young man, I don't remember adults, the older adult grandparents, great-grandparents, I don't remember them grabbing tea. Like you said, I remember them grabbing a Coke. That's what they wanted. What's funny is most of them were never diagnosed, at least, with diabetes, but most of them, I'm referring to my great-grandparents right now and my grandparents, no diabetes in the family at that level. But the next generation, everybody had diabetes. I think it has a lot to do with how much you work and when how much you move. O'Brien says, bro me. Jessica and Annabelle slipping.
Jessica and Annabelle.
Oh, okay. They are slipping and sliding everywhere. And he said, mostly me. Yeah, but it's fun. You got to love it. Just be careful. Jessica Harris says, oh yeah, I'm very surprised none of us fell. I am too, because your bunch, you guys are all, you move around a lot. And here's Justin Thornton. Embarrassing. That is the buzzword of the group. Adventures of Moon Man. Sweet tea is awesome. We never measure how much sugar we put in it down here. No, you're not supposed to. It's like you take the bag, you pour in sugar into your, if it's sun tea, which is my favorite by far. You take the jar, set it out all day, which I haven't done probably in 16 or 17 years, which is weird. And the reason why is because the reason why is the sugar in the tea. But you put like 10 tea bags or whatever in the jar. You shut the jar, but before that, you put the sugar in, and you pour sugar in the huge jar until it feels a lot lighter. That's how you do it. And then you stir it up because it's and you set it out in the sun. Sun tea is the best. Matter of fact, we need to write that down for our summer picnic. And you can set it in the back of the truck too. You just have to make a bed for it to where it doesn't break. And it's real possible. Jessica Harris says, our guardian angels were probably out of breath when we finally go home. Yeah, the guardian angels are like, okay, I need a sabbatical. I need a break after protecting these guys. Billy says, driving during a live stream. I tried that earlier. Didn't work out so well. Well, we didn't drive. This is the video that's coming out tomorrow. Is tomorrow afternoonish, maybe tomorrow morning, hopefully tomorrow morning. I video while driving, which is easy. That's not a lot of times when people are watching it, they don't realize the truck is not I'm not turning, the camera is turning, and I'm looking forward. And because by this time I kind of know what scene I'm after, and sometimes I get great shots, sometimes I don't. A lot of stuff hits the cutting room floor, but every now and then you get these superb shots, and I'm getting better at knowing how to time it with the view. Today with the snow, it's funny because you get to capture a lot, but it's not as crisp. So I'm still working on that. Jim McDonald says, I'm 2 inches shorter than I was 20 years ago, but the ground is a foot further away. I'm a good 1.5 inches shorter than I was at 18. That's the truth. I blame the Army. But yeah, I'm or football, either way. Adventures of Boomman says, I haven't had sun tea since last summer when I drove up to Indiana. Sun tea is wonderful. The sun brings out the awesomeness of the sugar in the tea leaves in the little bags. It's just, and all the chemicals in our water mixes with the sugar. The chemicals become wonderful. The sun does stuff. It makes you strong. Sweet tea makes you strong. It makes you, it's like Popeye. You drink a big thing of tea. Have you had Milo's sweet tea? Have I had Milo's sweet tea?
Yes, we've had it.
Where is it at? How do you get Milo's sweet tea?
I'm pretty sure we were able to purchase that down in Chattanooga.
You're right. Down in Chattanooga, we had Milo's sweet. That's pretty good. Is it Milo's or Milo's?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It is good, though.
I have no idea. Jessica says it's the best. So we are not supported or sponsored on this channel. So if you want to throw $1,000 at the super chat, we are open for that. We will take 1,000. If you want to give $100,000, $10,000, $25,000 to the channel, I just want to say this: we'll take it. Justin, you're killing me. Justin Thornton, we thank you for your contribution of $1.99. We are thrilled. Jim McDonald said, hot tea with cream. I've got something to confess, Jim. I've never had hot tea with cream. I need to try that. That sounds kind of good. I need to try it. Matter of fact, I want to try it soon because it's English. I grew up with black coffee. Nobody had cream and sugar. And I didn't discover, really get into cream in my coffee until Carolyn came along. And
That's right.
She brainwashed me. And now I'm absorbing all those extra calories because of the wonderful, wonderful, heavenly cream that she buys, the flavored. And if you mix the hot chocolate with the cream coffee, it's the bomb. And your blood sugar goes sky high. Bryn G's in the house. Talked about you on the way home from Macedon today. I said, Bryn G lives in South Carolina because Carolyn had been asking me where you were from. She goes, where's Bryn G from? Because, you mentioned Pennsylvania and this and that. And so when you left that last message on a video, I was like, excellent. We know where she lives now, which was really cool. Adventures of Moon Man. Have you ever been to Mentone, Alabama? I don't know where Mentone is. I may have been through there, around there. I've been all over the state of Alabama. So I can't tell you. Oh, Breen, I totally agree that black coffee is still awesome. But you get in a habit of certain things. But every now and then I will crave that wonderful bitterness of black coffee. That's just wonderful. I do. I like it. Especially the best coffee maker in the world is my wife. She makes the best coffee I've ever had. And I'm serious. There have been people that have come to our house, my parents. It's not one of those things that's in my imagination. She has a method in a percolator that makes superior coffee to most people. And so watching her, she won't even tell me her secret. She turns her back to me when she's making coffee. I've tried to watch her, but she has a system. So especially Carolyn's coffee, black. It's wonderful. It's very good. We're catching up here on the coffee. Justin Thornton says, same Carolyn, referring to Carolyn's comment, which is I can't drink it black. I got to have some coffee with my creamer. She drinks a lot of creamer. It's not half and half. It's more like 65. Was 35, I hope. I don't math much. I don't math much. O'Brien has had 7 coffees today. O'Brien, you need help. We've got people set aside just for you. Justin Thornton, oh my gosh. I don't think he said it that way, but it sounded cool. Billy says, God intended real men to drink black coffee. I used to say the same thing. I did. Billy, I used to be that way. I had to give up my man card on this. I didn't give up my man card. I had it hole punched because of creamer. Because they have different flavors of creamer. I mean, they got caramel, they got chocolate, they got peppermint. I can still go back to drinking black coffee. And that trip that we planned in January, don't think I have forgotten it, because I have not forgotten about that trip that we're going to take up to the mountains. And it's going to be awesome. A wintertime camping. It is going to be great. But I may sneak some creamer in for the coffee. I'm just saying. It might happen. A little extra sugar, some carbohydrates there to help you on your hike. Adventures of, O'Brien says, Jessica Harris Is it bad that I'm drinking coffee right now? Yes, you're going to be up all night, Abreen. Adventures of Moonman says, I started drinking it black about 6 years ago. Drank it every day with creamer up until then. Drinking black coffee. This is what I've been told by experts. And by experts, I mean people who think they're experts. Take that however you want to. That about 2 cups of coffee a day is so healthy for you, antioxidants and stuff. That 2 cups of coffee a day will cure you of anything. But you have to just 2 cups, no cream, no anything. Drink 2 cups of coffee, and you don't have to worry about anything in 2020. You might want to fact check me on that. Brinchy, I like a little coffee with my cream. That's what Carolyn said in sugar. Actually, sweet and low. Oh man, I can't do sweet and low anymore. I'm with you, Carolyn. You know the problem, Brent, is that, and I don't think we've ever had sweet and low in our house.
I have it here when we like host socials, like gatherings for other people.
We have it for other people, but never for ourselves. I am not a sweet and low person. I grew up, that is all this is so funny because my mother's got, like I said, more. She could paper her office with degrees and certifications and all that stuff. And she actually measured my food until I was like 14. She made sure that I had all the nutritional things going on. So we never ate sugar. I never got to put sugar on my cornflakes. If we had dessert, I got to have a half a piece or whatever it was. And this went on for years, and I was still chubby. I was until junior high school. Junior high school, I shrunk. But until junior high school, I still had all that baby fat. I blame mom. Blame your parents for everything. You know, that's how that works, right? I'm kidding. Because my kids might be watching this, and they'll be like, okay, Dad. Dennis Jackson says, what about a cup of coffee and 6 Diet Dews? That's probably bad. I'm telling you, Dennis, if I drunk 6 Diet Dews, bad things happen to me. Very bad things happen. Not in a good way. Billy says, I think it was the tree of life in the Garden of Eden. It could have been a big bean, a big coffee bean dangling from a coffee tree. Maybe that's what heaven is, man. It's coffee trees. That's what keeps us all going. Somebody's preaching in here. Oh, Abreen was preaching earlier about unauthorized critics. Amen. Abreen was paying attention on Sunday nights. Come on, unauthorized critics. What I taught about on Sunday night, in case you were wondering what that joke's about, is you got all these people in your life that want to give you advice and give you opinions. Everybody that has an opinion and shares it, you become a critic. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that if you're trying to accomplish a goal, if you're trying to go a certain direction, listening to all kinds of opinions can really mess you up. So you have to authorize certain critics and unauthorize other ones. And you should only authorize 1 or 2 critics who have been where you're trying to go, or they're an objective observer, a qualified observer, if you will, to where they know the forum that you're trying to reach, and they're an expert at observation. You want to be able to attach yourself to people like that who have been where you're going, because if you're listening to critics who have never been where you're going, then they are not qualified. So look into that. It's good stuff. Sunday nights, Ray of Hope. Dennis Jackson, back to coffee, says, what about a cup of coffee and 6 Diet Dews? And then Billy says, it was Tree Life. Catching back up here. Brent says, my husband is a diabetic, so I have plenty of it. That's the thing. I'm wondering, I've got this theory, though, about sweet and low. Something about sweet and low bothers me. I don't know what it is. It brings back memories of my childhood, I think, Brent, where I start going, okay, I remember Mom putting sweet and low in my oatmeal. Dun, dun, dun. You know, I don't know. I don't even think that's what it is. But for some reason, I can't even think about sweet and low. But wow, Mom's in here. It's funny because the light is hitting me and I'm having a heart. It takes me a second. I have not seen her. She said, please forgive me for doing that. No, you probably saved my life by not eating all the sugar. Remember, this is satire, okay? This is satire. No, you probably saved my life. I mean, the truth of the matter is we consume. You look, and you taught me this. If you look at all the stuff that we're eating all the time, it's loaded with sugar. Everything has sugar in it. And if I ate the way I'm supposed to eat, I got to admit, I feel better. I feel better when I eat the way I'm supposed to eat, but I'm miserable, if that makes any sense. That's how addicting sugar is. There's a whole story behind that. You can find that story on YouTube. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a documentary about how the sugar industry, they used a really clever marketing campaign to get people to focus on fat as something negative for your body as opposed to sugar. And meanwhile, sugar was put in everything. However, you have other documentaries by qualified people, you know, they know their field, that say that sugar is not the real problem. The real problem is the lack of exercise and things like that. So it goes on and on. The debate continues. Jim McDonald says, who can eat oatmeal without sugar and butter? Come on, Jim, preach. Brown sugar on oatmeal, by the way, is better. Brown sugar, butter, and a splash of milk. Now listen, Jim, I know this is crazy, and it's un-American a little bit. It's a little communist, I'm just going to tell you. But instead of milk in your oatmeal with your butter and your brown sugar, that doesn't change. The butter and the brown sugar is eternal with the oatmeal. They're one. They come in separate packages, but they're one. It's an easy way to explain the Trinity, okay? Brown sugar, butter, oatmeal. They go together always. However, instead of a little milk, you use butter. Use buttermilk. I know what you're thinking. Why? It adds so much flavor. All of a sudden, the oats and the oatmeal stand out a little more. So you don't really taste the buttermilk. It just enhances the flavor of everything else. And somebody had to take off. I don't know who it was, whoever it was. Thank you so much. Oh, Adventures in the Moon Man. I am so grateful for his contribution tonight. He did a fabulous job at giving us some great information. So we need to catch up with him and see if he's got a channel too. And so we'll plug his channel. Jessica said, we won't be on your phone in church then. And Billy says, Mama's putting me to bed. Chief needs to sit on my lap a while. That's his dog, his German Shepherd. Good night, all. Good night, Billy. See you later. Jim McDonald says, I don't want to get so old that people talk about me in front of me anyway. Well, I guess I'm there, Jim. I'm already there. Have a good night, Jim. You guys are so wonderful. And I'm going to stay here for at least another 20 minutes and continue talking. I know some people, it's getting late. Some people have said that my live stream should be earlier. And here's the thing. I've tried that before. It really didn't work. It works. 9:30 works better because I always say that's when the old primetime television shows came on, from 9 to 10. I could move it back 30 minutes. I don't know. No, Carolyn says no. I think 9:30 is better. And then if it goes over, that's great. If it goes over, that's wonderful. We're definitely going to live stream a lot more this next year. And I'm excited about that and talk about lighthearted things, fun things, stuff that I want to say. I don't know if you know this person well or not, but his name's David Letterman. David Letterman's early days as a talk show host were phenomenal because he really made it all about the guest. And that's what was so funny. He made himself less in the grand scheme of his show. And by doing that, it actually made him more. In other words, people focused on, because he just set other people up to do their thing. And that's what I would love for this to turn into, is for, as it does sometimes, is to where the people that really control the conversation are in the comments. A lot of YouTube channels that do live stream, they have 40, 50,000, 100,000, a million subscribers. And the chat just scrolls like, I don't know, it's just scrolling fast. And it's difficult. Somebody has to moderate and then pick a great comment, and then the host will talk about it. One of the great things about having a smaller channel is economy, is I can actually interact in real time and not have to filter through Carolyn, my moderator. Brittany says, that is where I've been for the last 2 nights. Primetime television. I don't even know what comes on primetime television. When my son gets here at the end of the week, he brings his Xbox and stuff, and we let him plug it into the main TV. Do you know why? We don't watch it. It's got surround sound. We're like, look, dude, play, have fun. If it gets too loud, we'll put headphones on, because we never turn the television on. Whether it's, we work. Carolyn works all day long. I work all day long. And so at nighttime, we're working on stuff like YouTube and things like that. We don't have time for television. Not putting anybody down. I'm just saying. I love that you went live 4 times today. Was it 4 times? Yeah, it was 4 times. It was. One of them didn't count, though, as a Vlogmas, because it has to be at least 8 minutes long to count, really, as a Vlogmas video. And when I went to Massanutten, I was only there 2 minutes. The phone was acting. My phone, I told you, does not like cold weather. My phone is from Miami, I think, and it doesn't like the cold at all, and it refuses. It's in a union, and it files a grievance, and it just starts acting crazy. And then I hit the landscape, or the lock button, by accident. So I've got the straight up and down shot instead of the landscape. It was kind of annoying. Not to mention the fact, it turns out, this is big. Don't leave yet. It turns out that snow is cold. Snow, the white stuff that's been falling down from the sky, it's cold. As a matter of fact, to prove it to myself, I walked out on the deck tonight to look at it because it was still snowing. So I opened the door and I walked out on the deck and there was snow on the deck. And guess what? My feet got cold. So if you don't know it, just a little safety. I'm just looking after your safety. Snow is cold. Bridgie says, I'm retired, but stay on the computer more than watch TV. I think that's just forever now, Brandon. I think that's what everybody's doing. That's why all the movie companies are streaming now. The problem that I have with it is, okay, so are we going to have to watch what this is going to look like. We're going to have to get cable, okay, for our internet service. Maybe you get your internet service through your phone, but either way, you're paying 2 fees for your broadband, Wi-Fi, and your whatever, whatever service is bringing it there. And then you're going to have to buy packages with like Netflix, Disney Plus, CBS Access, because each one of those networks, one of those streaming services have their own show. CBS Access has this terrible version of Star Trek that they keep trying to sell. I watched a couple of seasons and gagged, but I did give it a chance. I like Star Trek. So I gave the Star Trek episodes an honest chance, but there was so much potential, but then there was these gaping holes and it didn't line up with the rest of the series. Anyway, the point is, that was the only reason why I wanted to watch Picard. There was another series on there, and I don't remember what it was, but it was just awful. It was lots of agenda, lots of this is the plot, but we're really trying to say this, and that gets so annoying because it's bad storytelling. I mean, there's a way, if you have an agenda, there's a way to weave it into the story to where the viewer is getting the agenda without having to be beaten on the head. That's typically what we're seeing right now. So you get CBS Access, then you get the Disney Channel because you got Mandalorian and some amazing Star Wars products coming out when it comes to, Ahsoka. They got the Ahsoka series, which is going to be amazing. You've got Obi-Wan Kenobi coming out. That's going to be amazing. Rogue Squadron, another one that's going to be really cool. So you got to have Disney Plus, which they've killed everybody, and I knew they would. It's Disney. It's the mafia of movies, man. They are going to get it done. They are going to make it. Matter of fact, you can't call them the mafia of movies. You can't do that. You have to call the mafia the Disney of crime. In other words, Disney is the standard for everybody. So I knew that Disney has enough in their catalog to whip everybody else. In other words, all the Disney things we grew up with, don't worry about your DVDs that you've been buying for the past 30 years. Don't worry about those. Throw those away. And basically what streaming is saying, we will keep those movies for you. And watch what happens. Write this down. Eventually, they will vault those videos. And if you want access to them, you'll have to pay for that access, like a revolving fee. Watch if that doesn't happen. Anyway. Yeah, Jessica Harris is probably referring to the snow. And she says, no way. Yeah, Jessica, here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. Go outside and just lay down in the snow, just face first. And watch what happens. Your whole body will get cold. It's crazy. Brad G says, snow is cold. Who would have ever guessed that? You know what? That's the thing. Nobody ever thinks about these things. But snow is cold. Freckleface 2, we never turn our TV on any longer or anymore either. Nothing worth watching. Ich. And ich is German, I think. Ich. I think it's German. Not sure why we still have it. We use our iPads for entertainment, as does the world. As do we all. Bryn G says, we have cable, internet, and phone, all on Spectrum, formerly Time Warner. Cheaper as a package, but still expensive nonetheless. Of course it's expensive because probably 65 to 70%, probably 85% of what you have there in that package, you don't use. Whether it's the 50 channels of sports, whatever, you're not using those channels, but they bundle them. Anything to add there? Okay. You looked up. I thought you were going to say something. Bridgie says, we have cable, internet, and phone, all on Spectrum, formerly Time Warner. I already read that one. Jessica Harris says, I walked in the snow a lot today. I believe you. But did you walk barefooted in the snow? Because that is the indicator. How do you know your shoes aren't lying to you? It's physics, man. It's physics. It's quantum entanglement. Just watch any YouTube video, and they'll tell you all about quantum entanglement. Is this real? Is this a matrix? Are we in a hologram? I know you guys watch YouTube. So, I mean, is it the snow? Is it your shoes could be telling you that it's cold, but is it cold? And Jessica Harris says, no, because I'm not a lunatic. I'm going to tell next time I watch a physics video where they talk about something appearing out of nothing, because that's what they say. You know that, Caroline, we've talked about this. is like things can appear out of nothing because the universe is so big that it can just create something from nothing. I want to say you're a lunatic.
Yeah.
Time moves equally backwards and forwards. I believe that one. But, most of the stuff I'm like, no. Bridgie says shoes would tell you that it's cold if you have holes. Ooh. Now we're getting into black hole theory, some Stephen Hawking stuff, man. That's right. Black holes in your shoes. There's a song there. O'Brien stepped in, my physicist, our church's official physicist, O'Brien Taman. He has stepped in, but he's not even talking about what I was talking about. No. Jessica Harris, unlike some of my residents who were running the quad more than half naked. Oh, gosh.
Crazy
oh, yeah, that was interesting. Crazy college kids. Crazy college kids are back again. I'm just glad that people are having fun. And this kind of breaks up the insanity of the past few months. And so breaks the insanity up. I got to fix my hat here or I'll get in trouble with Santa. By the way, these hats are available on our merch store through Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com and look up camouflaged hats for bald people. And you'll find the Santa hat. Bridgie says, no, I grew up in West Virginia and spent all summer barefooted. We did too growing up. We did too. My parents would never let me out of the house barefooted. When I was a kid, it was normal to run around barefoot. They tell you to put shoes on, but you never would,
I lived in Florida. It was normal to go around barefoot.
Carolyn says she lives in Florida, and it was normal to go around barefoot. And I believe her. I would go barefoot now, but it hurts your feet. Turns out the ground when you step on something, which is why your parents are like, don't run around barefoot. There's a reason. Especially me, because I'm a klutz. I kick everything when I'm walking. And Carolyn will tell you. I mean, there's not a night that goes by that on the way to my bed I'm not kicking something. And it hurts. So I started wearing shoes. Shoes, good. Shoes are good. Bridgie says, meaning in the winter, I can never go barefoot. My mistake. I knew what you meant, though. I knew what you meant. That's the funny part. My Achilles heel in being barefoot. See what I did there? Achilles heel. Oh, barefoot. Dad humor. You got to love it. Is being cold. I mean, my feet seldom get cold, but when they do, it shuts me down. It's like that's this does not compute. That's my iPhone moment where the iPhone just shuts down in cold weather. That's exactly what happens when my feet get cold. Looking now, not good to wear shoes. You're one to talk because you never wear shoes either.
Not good to not wear shoes.
Not good to not. No, it's not good to not wear shoes. I agree, but you are definitely one to talk. Still looking through the comments. Have I missed any comments at all?
I don't think so.
Excellent. Excellent. So we are still counting down all the snow. It was snowing the last time we checked, which was just a few minutes ago. Still snowing. They're probably still plowing. So if you are in the area within 2 or 3 hours of Harrisonburg, be careful. Wouldn't even go out tonight. I wouldn't even go out tomorrow morning unless you have to. I don't know are the schools closed? I have no idea.
Oh, I'm sure they are based on what's the roads.
The road conditions are really bad. The road conditions are really bad. Seriously, can get bad stuff. I wear shoes now. You do now, of course. I mean, we know so much more now about going barefoot. Like today, I learned that snow is cold. So I'm not going to walk in the snow again because it turns out it's really, really cold. Modern thinking. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. Jessica Harris, well, the schools are virtual. So, well, not all of them. There's a few that are meeting and they're masking up and stuff. Jessica Harris says they're always closed.
Some of the elementary age kids meet on random days of the week.
Some of the elementary kids meet on random days of the week. That used to be your barometer on how bad the weather is, but in 2020, not so much. On 2020, not so much. I am believing that 2021, by the second half, things are going to be a lot better. I'm not saying you're going to be happy with everything, but they'll be a lot better. Vaccines are out. Vaccines are out. And now be careful because they might have microchips.
Leave alone.
Carolyn's not letting me go off on a tangent to have fun.
So what's happening to the sky?
What's happening to the sky? The sky is falling, and I hope you guys got to go out and play in the snow today. We did. It was a lot of fun. For the first time in a long time, probably 20 years, I did a donut.
Oh my Lord.
In the car. And Carolyn's not used to me playing around like that, but we were in this huge parking lot on Massachusetts, and I just took off. I just went around like it wasn't a full donut, it was like a half donut. Because I'm older, and I might pull something doing a donut in the car. If you're in the truck, you're spinning out, and be like, oh, my back, what happened? And the truck's like, what, you can't hang because you're old? And I'm like, yeah. So we don't do a lot of craziness in the truck. The truth of the matter is that and I said this at the beginning, and I'm saying it again now, the roads weren't bad for our truck, but it was really bad for anything else. Even if you had 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive today and you were low to the ground, you were going to have issues today. Freckleface says, are you taking the vac? Are you taking the vac? That's beyond the scope of this video. I think I'm going to do a video at the end of this year, like after Vlogmas, and do a live stream and know that it's going to get demonetized.
But wait till then.
Like, you're like even the title is going to get you in trouble. It's one of those things where YouTube's like, really, Bill? We never expected this from you because your channel is so docile and you're so friendly. And then all of a sudden it's going to be like, but it's going to be like right after Vlogmas. Renji says, not a good subject on YouTube. No, it's not, but I'm going to do it. But it's going to be like after Vlogmas, and it's going to be a no hold barred. We're just going to go for it.
But not now.
But you really, honestly, you can't do that. Even if it's
trying to beat you
even if you do, you just let it rip. You can get in trouble and get your channel suspended for 2 weeks. Like, you can get in like minor trouble like that. It's like you're suspended. You need to go see Dr. So-and-so in the Dean's Hall because you're going to have to go home for 2 weeks.
Because we're back in high school. And what?
Are you taking the vac?
Don't do it.
I think that's something that would make a great YouTube video. And you gotta be there, Freckleface, when it happens. So make sure you're subscribed because it's gonna be great. Bringy says, not a good subject. Dennis Jackson says, oh, come on, say it, Bill. I will, but I want to make money when I'm saying it. If you're gonna go out on a limb, I'll say stuff at the church that I'm very blunt about things like that. I don't hesitate. Didn't hesitate during the election. Don't hesitate to just speak my mind and with love, of course, with love, and having your facts straight as best as you can. But
not read O'Breen's next message.
But on YouTube, I'm careful.
O'Breen gonna get you demonetized.
Microchips 2021. Elon Musk hires a bunch of computer science majors and implant chips in them. He now has control over the computer scientists. The vaccine has chips. Get hacked and Elon takes over. If it was Elon, it wouldn't be so bad. I'm serious. The dude is building. Think about this, O'Brien. Elon Musk built an electric car that is in demand. His stock prices, they dip every now and then, but they are doing okay. And have you driven a Tesla? Man. Meanwhile, he has a private spaceship company. Now, see, this is no big deal to you guys because for most of your life, this has been going on. But me, my father, his father, the whole space race, the whole space NASA moment in time, no one had a private rocket company. That was something the government did. And Elon Musk has a private rocket company that the government uses. That's pretty impressive. He made a flamethrower. A flamethrower for people to buy. You can buy a flamethrower now. That is insane. Elon Musk, fantastic. I watched the Starship the other day. I think it was Starship 8. Soars like an eagle up into the sky. It was great. I was like, wow, I didn't know it could fly. It was slow, but it was going. I was like, holy cow. But then it went to do the maneuver that they're really working on where it swings back down and lands, which is going to be awesome when they pull this off. I can't wait till it lands the first time. But let's be honest, the explosions are amazing. When the thing crashes, it's like, ooh, it's like watching a knockout. Even if it's your favorite fighter, it's still impressive to watch somebody get knocked out in boxing. I don't mean that bad, but still. Violet Johnson says, good night, Gracie. Bridgie says, I have noticed that if it is mentioned in the title of the YouTube, puts a little box giving you info on where to find that 2020 thing. That doesn't bother me, though. I mean, yeah, they do, though. If I mention the moon landing or anything, or I make a video about the moon landing, I made a video in case you guys haven't seen it, called "The Internet is what was it? The Internet is a hoax." The funny part about the video is it could have been much better. I did a rush job on it, but the comments are great. But what made it funnier is the people who believed it and they were serious. That's why I don't make those kind of videos anymore. It's because I go, "Oh, honey, what's wrong with you?" It was total satire. Go back. If you've never seen that one, you need to watch it. It's an early video. There's some cringe moments in it because it's an early video of mine. But go back and watch The Internet is a Hoax. It's hysterical. But if I'm not mistaken, there's a box. The reason why I say that, Brent, is because there's a box underneath that video about the moon landing and things like that. Mark, his message was retracted. So it's been an amazing night. This has been great. I have so enjoyed talking to you lovely people. What I'm going to do tonight is sign off now, and I've got a little bit more to do on the other video that I'm working on for you guys tomorrow, and then I've got to spend a lot of tomorrow doing mainline stuff. But I am grateful that you stop by every night. And so, again, tomorrow, 9:30, unless there's an emergency, in which case we will put something on the notes there, a comment there on the main page and say, hey, we had to cancel or have to postpone, whatever. But 9:30 tomorrow night, whether there's a video out, make sure that you check it out. Bob Watchful, see you then. Peace, love you guys, and stay safe. If I can hit